So Kevin, your first year on the Hockey Night in Canada team, and obviously you've been a bit of a trailblazer as a minority both in the game and now behind the camera. What does that mean to you, and how's that first year gone?
Well, something that I'm certainly very proud of. Obviously, having a chance to make history as a player was something that I didn't take lightly. And when you're playing, something that people understand is when you're a professional athlete, you play for a lot more than yourself. You play for your family, you play for your friends, you play for your community, you play for a greater community, and you play for your team, you play for the fans. So that's something I took seriously. And now, transitioning and becoming a broadcaster and an analyst, it's much the same thing. So, making history on this side, it's been a lot of fun. It allows me to stay in the game. I know I want to be involved in TV. I just didn't really know what capacity I want to work in. So those questions have been answered clearly, at least for now. And it's truly a privilege to work with Hockey Night in Canada and also to work with NHL Network.
Obviously, you see the game from a different perspective.
That's the key. Yeah, it's been a great transition. It's been fairly seamless. Everybody at Hockey Night's been really great in terms of helping me in the transition and making my my progressions week by week as far as the games go. Working on NHL Network has also been fantastic. But the good thing for me is I've got a blend between doing the broadcasting for Hockey Night and doing studio work with NHL Network. And the benefits of the studio is we're charting different games happening at once. You're watching multi-games and you're breaking games down. And also it's a little bit more of a platform to have a little more of my personality show. Right. So that's cool, and I really like that. On the flip side, the upside of Hockey Night is it is Hockey Night. I grew up watching Hockey Night. That was my introduction to the game. My parents immigrated from Barbados. We learned the game by watching Hockey Night in Canada. And that's what spurred me to want to become an NHL goalie. So the one challenge that came with that initially is watching the game from up there. It's a different vantage point. Because I'm used to obviously playing and being on the bench, being a fan in the stands, or watching the game as a viewer on the other side of the TV. So I haven't really watched games or broken games down from the bird's eye, from the nest up there. So
you're a pretty self-reflective guy as a goaltender. You must be as an analyst too. So
yes.
Any good moments, any good bloopers that you've experienced that you're not forgetting?
You might, as an analyst, speaking, yeah. You might want to get my partner Mark Lee up there or Scott Oak. They'll probably be able to tell you. See, Scott, he's got his hands going. But yeah, good moments really. There have been a lot of them. My first preseason game at Air Canada Centre, being a Toronto boy and broadcasting that Leafs game is Leafs in Detroit and then Leafs in Pittsburgh the following weekend. So that was a thrill, being able to do that and have that opportunity. Also, working in Montreal last week, that was a huge thrill. I love Montreal. Montreal is unique. And even though I'm from Toronto and we've got a lot of great hockey markets in Canada, but I can tell you this, I don't think anybody does hockey the way Montreal does. It's just a different level. Everything is to the letter, all the details, everything is accounted for. It's a unique atmosphere. And so having that chance last week, I'd say, is the highlight. From a blooper standpoint, I see you looking at me, you're waiting for the blooper.
I'm waiting for the blooper, yeah. Come on.
For those of you out there, for all our online viewers, I think the biggest blooper so far has been getting lost in GM Place a couple times trying to find the press box and the broadcast booth. And I got lost in there twice. The first time I did 3 laps, and as they finished singing "For Thee" in Canada, I literally walked into the booth, and we were just about to come on air. So Mark Lee was looking. He's like, "Where's Kevin?" And I'd left my phone in the booth, so I couldn't even text them to get to get the direction. So that was the first miscue. Terrible blooper. And then the next one was last time we were in Vancouver, when Calgary was actually there. Calgary on January 9th. I went in the wrong door to the broadcast booth, or to what I thought was a broadcast booth. The door locked behind me, and there was no door handle on the inside of the door. So it was essentially like a broom closet, so to speak, that had a stairwell. And there was a little slit, like a little window that you have in some of the school doors. Yeah. Unfortunately enough, a gentleman that worked in the broadcast booth saw me as I was banging on the door, and he started laughing. So he came, and as he laughed, he got me out of there, and he escorted me to the broadcast booth into my seat. He was laughing the whole way. So those are 2 bloopers, I'd say.
So you're an old pro now.
Yeah, old pro now.
Nice. Okay. You've got quite an online presence, working hard on your website, kevinweeks1.com, and on Twitter. How's that experience changed the relationship between you and fans compared to what it used to be like, 5 or 10 years ago?
Well, that's a great question. I think, I was one of the first players to have my own website, and one of the biggest reasons were I just wanted to have that platform and have that connection to the fans and just for people at large. I think, it's a great medium. The web is a great medium to have, and obviously you know this, and you guys have done great work as well. But growing up, we didn't have that connection. I didn't have that connection to Grant Fuhr. I didn't have that connection to Mike Vernon and Mike Richter and Hasek and all my favorites. So it just seemed like it was so far away, and being able to get information and access information about, you know, their on-ice interests or their on-ice skill sets, what they do to get better, all those things, those resources weren't really there. And even just getting to know them as people. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about a human connection. It's all about people.
Well, the Olympics just around the corner, a couple of weeks.
Yes.
It's a little unique this year, I think, with the goaltending talent is a little bit more parity in it compared to previous years.
Definitely so.
What effect do you think that's going to have on the tournament, and who do you think is going to have a hot hand when we're in there?
Well, what effect I think that, you know, the goaltending parity is going to have on the tournament is it decreases the margin for error. And, you know, the slimmest margins are now going to be in place because you look at all the teams, you know, across the pool, everybody has a top-flight goaltender. Some teams have 2, some teams have 3. So in a short tournament, you have everybody going in playing well, everybody's healthy. Who really has the advantage? You know, in Canada, obviously, we have Marty and Roberto, and Marc-Andre, who just won a Stanley Cup. But, you know, you look at the Finns, they've got Kipper, you know, they have Backstrom. So you look at the Swedes, you have King Henrik. I mean, Russia has Nabokov, Brizgalov's been unbelievable. Both those guys have having terrific campaigns this year.
Absolutely.
So I don't really think anybody has a distinct advantage in goal. I think it's really going to come down to little things. It's going to come down to little intangibles. And quite honest with you, a little bit of luck. Ryan Miller's been fantastic. So, you know, I don't know who has that advantage in goal, but in terms of who's going to win the gold this year, naturally we'd like to say we hope Team Canada is going to win, especially since we're hosting it. But the good thing about it is the fact that ultimately all these teams have improved. All these countries are good hockey countries, and you're going to see some of the best hockey that we've ever seen played. And for goaltenders and young goalie fans and goalie coaches out there, the main reason is because of the development. And, you know, countries that are, you look at a country like Finland, they've taken that development model. They now have about 8 guys in the league as a result of that, working with goalie coaches, focusing their efforts on improving the position. That's made a big difference.
A lot of broadcasters try and expand their career into other areas, a little bit of diversity.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
So what do you have going on?
I like that. You know what, it's interesting. When I first broke into it, or I should actually take a step back. When I was playing, at some point I figured I might want to do something in TV, but I didn't necessarily know what aspect of TV I want to get involved in. I've been in some sitcoms, etc. So I knew it was something that I was interested in, but I didn't really know what realm. So, you know, the broadcasting thing kind of presented itself. I did some shows for NHL Network last year in the playoffs when we were eliminated in New Jersey, and really enjoyed it and thought, hey, you know, somehow TV is going to be a vehicle. So at this point, you know, it's through broadcasting and naturally being an analyst. And it's a great fit right now. How long that goes, I don't know. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm open to the other opportunities because you never know what opportunities you mentioned might come your way through this. You know, I still love the game. I'm happy to be able to contribute to the game in a different realm. I was asked a question if I like coaching or being involved in management or any of those things, but I never slam doors because you never know what future opportunities might present themselves. I guess the one thing I can say, I'm always going to teach. I'll always be willing to share my knowledge with kids or, you know, other young guys in the league that I talk to, you know, in any way that I can to help them. And who knows, you know, if I were to be involved in, you know, coaching or management, more of a management capacity, I guess, it would be something that would have to be the right fit. It would have to be people that are like-minded, you know, where we have a lot of, you know, common denominators in terms of our character, the way we work, those kind of things. It just have to be an ideal situation. Another thing that's been interesting is, you know, I've had the opportunity to host a couple of things, a couple of different events. A charity ball I may be hosting, this Canada charity ball I'll probably be hosting in June. And in addition to that, delving into some corporate speaking. I have a speaking engagement on the 15th of February with one of the branches of Canadian government. I can't say which one, and not at liberty to say which one at this point, but
top secret.
Yeah, it's classified, as they say.
But,
exactly. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to share some of my experiences, and you know, I do it talking on the phone, or I do it at dinner, you know, I do it in the rink, I do it with my friends in the basement, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's going to be nice to continue to be able to do that, you know, on that platform. So that's another area that I'm looking at as well.
That's great. Well, Kevin Weeks, thanks very much for taking the time with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys. Keep up the great work. It's a great resource.
Thank you. Best of luck with the rest of the season. Hope you stay in touch.